Hello, my name is Carl Surrey and this is a video tutorial for the Facebook group called Fans of Serif Software. Now in this tutorial I want to look at adding fog or mist to an image, which can be done using a plugin, but I'm going to briefly look at that, but mainly I want to look at trying to recreate what the plugin has done for those of you that do not have the plugin. I'm using this fairly bright image here so that it will hopefully make the fog or mist stand out better while I'm recording this. So have a quick look at the plugin which I have, which is by a company called AKVIS, not certain how you want to pronounce that, but the program is called Nature Art. Just wait a few seconds while it starts up. And there we have my image in this plugin, and I'm going to, first of all, I'm just going to select the whole area, and I've got it preset on clouds and morning fog, and I will just click on the apply tick up here for it to add the fog mist to the image. As you can see, it's just doing its thing by the bar that's going across the top of the screen, so hopefully it won't take that long. Like I said, I'm just quickly having a quick look at this to show you what the plugin does, and then I'm going to try and recreate that. Right, so there we have a foggy day on this beach scene. So I'm just going to press Ctrl and Z to undo that. Not that it's going to let me. That's it. Right, so I've got rid of the fog. Now I'm going to recreate this myself. So we have the image here, and what I'm going to do is to add a new blank layer just by clicking on this icon down here. I'm not going to bother naming it, but I'll just click OK. And then I'm going to come up to Effects, and it is oh yes, come down to Other and then Plasma. Now with the Plasma filter, it just gives you sort of a very grey and black and white fuzzy image, and there's no real way to guide you as to how much fog or mist that you want. You just have to keep moving these around and it will change as you move these sliders around. So I'll leave it on that one and I will click OK, and then I'm going to change the blending mode to screen. See, and what screen does, it loses all the black that was in the image and only leaves you with the white. Now what you can do now here is, if you get the brush tool and make sure that white is your foreground color, so you can click on these little switch colors up here, assuming you had black and white as your presets, which they should be, so that white is your foreground color. And I'm just going to increase the size of this brush a bit, probably a bit more than that. That's a bit better. And then I'm going to lower the opacity, and I see I've already made my first mistake, because I think the colour I should be in is black, not white, because I want to erase some of this clouds, and painting black on there will just thin that out a bit. There we go, that's a bit better. How much you thin it out is up to you. And then I'm also going to add to that a bit of motion blur, and just to sort of make it look a bit more hazier. Maybe that's a bit too much. There we go. You can also change the angle that it's the direction that it's going in. So I'll leave that on that one, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to add another layer, and I'm going to do a similar thing again, in that I will go to other plasma, and I'm going to find a different setting. That's a bit excessive. So there's no sort of real idea of what will happen when you move these. It's just trial and error. I'm trying to find one that hasn't got that much. That one will do. So again, I'm going to change the blending mode to screen, and I've still got the paintbrush selected, I've still got black selected, and I'm just going to lose a bit more of that cloud and mist from this particular layer. I could also drop down the opacity of this layer so it doesn't have such an effect. And I could even drop down the opacity of the layer below. So as you can see, you can tinker with having more cloud, less cloud, and hopefully you can see that quite clearly on the screen. And another thing, I added motion blur to layer 1. You could add Gaussian blur instead. Probably won't have too much of a dramatic effect on this because I've lowered the opacity quite a bit. But if I turn off this layer 1, as you can see, you can't really see that thick fog from layer 2. So that has made it a bit more hazy, whereas just having layer 1 is a bit more more misty, whereas you're going for like a more full of fog effect, you can have both layers. So you can use either version, or either singly or together, to give you an effect that you're after. Well, I hope that has been of some use, and thank you for watching, and goodbye.